What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Colum Tyrrell Podcast. We're back with another banger. Emma Wilman in the house. She's a lunatic. We love her. Go check out her projects. She's the best. She's on the road. She's pretty blown up, actually, in the last few years. Emma's always been one who... stylistically, I love her like stand-up. That's how I like it. So the conversational, not really jokey, more flowy. And, she's batshit too. So go check her out. Emma's the best. She's a lesbian. Not that means much. She's a real one. A real lesbian. Today's episode comes out on Tuesday, the 21st of November. And I'm happy to announce that this Black Friday, we are introducing a $1 tier to the Patreon. Prices are getting out of control everywhere. And... I know what my fans are like. I know the people that listen to this type of stuff are like, they're not doing well. It's very, very rare I meet someone who comes to the shows and they have some stuff going for them. They're like, I dream of a used car salesman. I would cry if... If I ever did a comedy show and a fan showed up and he was wearing a nice sweater, la-di-da, how did you start? Well, are you from like the top deck of the Titanic and you just came down to have a look around? You know, a little poverty tourism. So we're bringing back the $1 pot. We're bringing in the $1 Patreon tier. That gets you an extra episode every week. The Patreon is just me. And that's it. So I do an extra episode. I do an hour every week. It will just be audio. Sometimes it'll be video, but it's mostly just me, the internal ramblings going on in my brain. And a few reasons why we're doing this. Prices around the places are crazy. I'm getting rid of the video option in the Patreon if I can, because I'm on the road so much. It's going to just make my life a lot easier just with scheduling. If I can record on the road, on the fly, just audio only. I prefer to do audio only. I don't think it's very natural for people to be looking at you, especially if you're doing a solo podcast. I don't think it's right to see how insane that looks. There's something weird. I'm not telling you how to live your life around like that. So I'm just like... trying to be entertaining and funny, and so it's better off if it's just audio, personally. Also, because I'm on the road, I'm actually earning money now through stand-up comedy, and I can afford to offer the Patreon. So if you have $1, if you're enjoying the podcast or you like anything that I do, consider heading over to patreon.com/Colum Tyrrell. Black Friday, the sale starts then. $1 gets you the extra episode. It will be capped. It'll only be for a certain amount of time. I don't know when. We'll see how popular it is. If no one buys it, it might be like that forever. But it's not going to be $1 forever. Head over there now. You can also sign up for a year. You can also get the first week free. Also, it's not monthly. Some Patreons is resets on the first of every month. As soon as you sign up, you get it for 30 days. So you'll get the entire backlog. It's only $1. So I don't know what that is. By the time you spread that out, I've got nothing. But I'd rather make it like affordable to the people that come out to see me, because it's very few accounting bros at my shows. It's usually some weirdo couple. Yeah, just an ugly little couple from the Midwest who don't really have friends, and they're like, "Hey man, I listen to all your episodes, man," and that's who it is. And I'm giving back to you guys for the extra $1. So hey, but head over to speaking of the, I'm on the road, right? So go join the Patreon Friday, Black Friday. I'm on the fucking road. I've got dates all over. So columtyrrell.com. If you don't see any of these dates are listed on my website, it's because the tickets aren't available yet. You can go over to my mailing list and you'll get emailed immediately. That's again at columtyrrell.com. So 2023 on the 16th of December, I'm in Ohio. And then on New Year's Eve, I'm going to be in Toronto. All those tickets, columtyrrell.com. Starting off next year, the 2024 tour, and I'm going everywhere. And if you don't see these dates or you don't hear the dates where you are, sign up for the mailing list. Tell me where to go, and once you have like a collection of emails like that, you can turn around to a club and go, "See, you should book me. You should book me in Baltimore because here's fucking 70 people who want me to come see me." So I'm doing the Sunshine Comedy Fest. in Tampa, Florida. A bunch of people there. Jordan Jensen, Mike Cannon, that Cam Patterson kid, the black guy loves rocks from Austin. He's a fun kid. I'm going to be in Connecticut, Cheshire, Connecticut, South Glastonbury, Connecticut. I'm going to be in Key West in February. I'm going to be in Laughing Up Poughkeepsie in February. I'm going to be in DC in March. I'm going to be in Chicago, Zanies. 14th, 15th, and 16th of March. That's St. Patrick's Day week. Come on out. It's like a small enough club. Zany's downtown. We're going to pack it out. It's St. Patrick's Day, Chicago. Get in there. Come on out. It's going to be sick. And then on March 17th, I'm doing a Colum Tyrrell and Friends in a very, very big comedy club somewhere down the south. So keep an eye out for that. Go Bananas, Cincinnati at the end of March. Long Island in April, Chattanooga, Tennessee, and then we've got more. We've got San Francisco, Greenville, is that North Carolina? Port Charlotte in Florida. We got Tampa again, and then loads more places. Memphis coming up for the rest of the year. All right, so columntyrrell.com for all that stuff. Head over to Patreon. Join the gang now, and join for the whole year. You get the whole year for like $10. All right? So why not? There's no excuse. If you've been listening to this podcast for free, and that's all you got to do. Just one time, $10 for the year, and then you're in. Then you're in the crew. Then you're starting to learn all the secret going-ons that goes on over there. But there's no secrets. I don't know why I said that. I was trying to add an air of mystique to the show. Kind of like, ooh, you never know what we do over there, but it's more or less the same shit you see everywhere. All right, folks. Emma Wilman. Check her out. Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Colum Tyrrell Podcast. Return guest, Emma Wilman.
How you doing?
I believe you've done the pod, right?
Yeah, I think I've done it I've been in here another time, so maybe I'm getting it confused with another podcast I did in here, but I definitely did it at the old location.
Yeah. Well, what we'll do is we'll have the thumbnail of the previous episodes. We'll zoom up. So go check out that episode, see if anything's changed.
Yeah, we had fun. I remember we were talking about this woman peeing. I got a flashback of it last night. It was a woman peeing at a concert. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. She was the artist. She was on stage and she peed on a guy's face.
Oh, I forgot
Wasn't
that part.
That was
what it was. Yeah, because I remember that. I just remember the visual of someone peeing, and I kind of remember both of us being like, she's got a good stream.
Yeah, they were like this weird Southern funk band, and then she was like, I can't remember what the song was. She was like, "Get up here! I'm gonna piss in your face now." And then some guy got up, and then she went nut. Like it was a hard stream. That was a power hose.
Yes, that's what we were. We were like, "Whoa!" And he liked it.
Yeah,
I think
it's piss. You know what I mean?
How could you like it?
I think the amount of piss that came out of that person though was. It's not the worst. It's not like the hungover, orange as hell.
You think it's better to have more piss, but it's clear instead of one little piss with...
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
I think the clear piss doesn't really stink as much.
Right. You get a
lot
better
of water.
Feeling of what's in it. Whatever would even... Yeah. I think I'd still rather have like a quick, like gross one, like
no, because it's a heavy, it's thick, you can't wipe it off. It sort of smudges like ketchup.
Your pee might be a little thick.
It's thick. All I do is drink alcohol. Honestly, every time I wake up in the morning, I'm like,
are you drinking a lot these days?
Boozing?
Yeah.
Enough. I don't know what a lot is, but every night, a lot. Every single night, I drink way too much. I drink until I wake up every night. No, I have been enjoying beers. The thing is that once I go on like a diet or whatever, once I end it, it's chaos then. It's making up for old time's sake, you know?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I was on like a 3-month, I'm back on track now, but I was doing this like 3-month super clean eating. No, actually, you know what? It was 6 months.
What's super clean? So describe like what's super clean?
This super clean for me.
No bread?
No, I was eating bread.
Whole wheat? What do you get?
I was eating breads, rice, sweet potatoes.
Oh, so carbs are in there.
Carbs are in. I was eating carbs, fat, protein.
Pizza, Chinese food.
Chinese food, a little bit of cocaine, a little meth, a little heroin.
Super clean eating.
Yeah, relatively. I was like working out for like 3 months, and then we just did the working out with the eating, and I never looked better. Like,
yeah.
I couldn't believe it because I was doing it for like 4 or 5 months.
You probably
before
had the vision too, like limitless, where you're just on it.
I felt so good.
Yes.
I was proud of myself.
Yes.
And I was doing black and white thinking where I was going, I'm being good. And then what happened was I got sick. So I was kind of in bed for like 5, 6, 7 days sick. Mm-hmm. And then I went to Austin. I was still kind of sick, but I didn't plan for it at all. And I remember I ate something that really set me off. And the diet was over. My trainer was like, we did the cut. Now you're going to just do maintenance for like, the plan was maintenance for like 6 months.
Lifestyle.
But I fucked up.
Okay.
Because what happened was I went off of it. Like I just went, I was like, it was like 1 day, 2 day, by the third day off eating cinnamon buns in a corner. Woo! It gets so violent. Like it's like, but it
gets disgusting.
It's just, it's like,
but it's also at this point, you might as well.
That's what I was telling myself. And I was like doing the thing where it's making up for lost time.
Yeah.
And I started doing the mind game of, I know I'm going to get back on track. So I just got to go for it now.
Because you're already there. You're already,
I crossed the line.
It's kind of like, if you have a cigarette, you might as well smoke 20, but then quit again tomorrow because you're already. I get it. That's what I go for too.
It's not, and I started seeing a therapist, and she was like, "You got to stop the black and white thinking." She goes, "Because when you go, I'm being good, then you cross that line. You go, now you're being bad."
That's
and I was like, "Right."
Yes.
And she was like, "And then you're bad, so you're going to be all bad."
Yes.
And it's too hard to. There's no balance. And I was like,
"Well, I can't really do."
Should I tell her you disagree?
Well, it's not easy to just be like, well.
Oh, it's not easy.
It's not easy to be like, on Sunday, I'm going to have a pizza and some beers.
Not easy.
No, it's got to be, it's all or nothing, really.
That's how I am.
That's the only option it is.
I know
she's saying that creating another option, but that's not the way it is. It's
I'll tell her you said it.
I don't have a, like.
She said you can
I don't
teach
have a
yourself.
control option. It's either yes or no.
She said you can teach yourself. She was like, you can slowly.
She doesn't know fucking anything. Tell her she's a dumb bitch.
Fucking Barbara.
Barbara!
I love that
Lying.
woman.
How old is she?
75. 72.
Therapist told me to stop doing comedy at one point or something.
I had a therapist say that as well as my parents and many other people. So now comedy sucks. No, I had a therapist in grad school say it. And then I remember I was like, I'm not going to therapy. I didn't go to therapy for a long time because she was like, she said, do you think comedy's healthy? And I was like hung over on the couch and I was like, no.
Well, that was the issue. Yeah.
Bitch.
Well, that was, that's the issue. First of all, no, it's not healthy, but also what is, you know what I mean? Going into Goldman Sachs and have my boss drink and splash of coffee in my face.
100%.
Like, what is healthy here, folks?
Right. Those are our options.
Yeah,
coffee,
is your job healthy? Listen to some bitch suicidal thoughts every day? Like, that's crazy. There's no way a therapist is loving that.
Right.
You know?
I got what she was saying, but I was kind of like, when your therapist said it to you, how'd they say it?
Well, I said this is the issue was imposter syndrome thing of being like, and this was like a year and a half ago. Things are really...
Oh, so pretty recent.
Yeah, but things at the time were pretty financially tough for me. And just a lot of stuff or whatever. And she was... I said I was just worried about being... I was worried about being those guys who are unfunny that don't realize just how unfunny they are. Totally. And that's the fear, because in comedy there's a lot of people that stink. And they don't know they stink. And then, but it's like, how do I know I don't stink? Dude. Like, how do I know that? How do I, what is going on? Because that guy thinks he's just as good as I do, think I am. And I was like, but maybe I'm a fucking insane person.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to say to her. And then she goes, yeah. She goes, what about this? What if you're just not funny? She's like, what if you're like not a funny person? And that's just who you are then. And I was like, Jesus, I hate lady. Her. And now I go, I really hate lady. Her. I go, what if my biggest insecurities are accurate, you dumb bitch? What the fuck am I talking? Oh, I'm a stupid idiot. No one likes you. Hey, what if no one likes you?
What if no one likes you?
What if you just got one of those personalities that's not meant to be loved? What if you're just one of those humans who never finds love?
Did they teach you that therapy school or fucking bitch school, you fucking bitch?
But also she was pushing pills, dude. Really? Which I found out years later. Now that they
Therapist or psychiatrist?
I have no idea. Probably just a fucking Uber driver working for Better Help.
Self-checkout lady.
No, the thing is, they don't sponsor us anymore, so Better Help. I don't know if I'm allowed to criticize them anymore, but it did turn out there was a lot of shit came out about them over the years.
Sure.
That the reason it's so cheap is because it's financed by insurance companies that get you to get hooked on the pills. It's a front to get you on pills. Damn. This is what I was told by...
yeah, what's your source? Whatever.
Robbie Bernstein.
Sounds legit.
Robbie Bernstein from Dave Smith's podcast.
Wouldn't be the craziest. I mean, it
makes sense though. Yeah. It's like, why is it so cheap? Why is just this random woman
Right.
just talking to me when I like you're a psychologist or whatever. You're
Right.
supposed to really be expensive.
Right.
It's supposed to be $19.99 unlimited for a
Right.
month, right? And then it's also not supposed to be them going, listen, because it turns out she had the playbook. This woman, she sent me these things to read, and it was supposed to be like yes or no questions about ADHD and things like that. And then it was like she was like going to like you need to be on the ADHD medicine and all this stuff. So I was like, she said, I can tell from talking to you. I was like, just so you know, it's like you're boring though. It's not necessarily
Right.
Most things are boring, but also you fucking stink.
Has someone thought you had ADD before, or was this a first?
No, that was the first. But no, people do. Like Dave thinks I'm insistent on it. But then again,
Really?
Dave's also he's not very captivating as a human. So it's like, that's not a good example. I think Dave thinks most people have ADHD. Most of the audience.
He's like, I don't know. Whenever I start talking, everyone starts jumping around. Yeah.
You were one of those falling asleep diseases, huh?
all these women have a not horny disease. I don't know what it is.
A lot of dry puss going around these days, folks.
This therapist, Barbara,
Yeah.
I respect her.
Good.
Because I've seen a therapist before, and the last one I saw, she was all right. I've seen good ones, I've seen bad ones. I mean, I never knew to even think they were bad, though, because in the past, I would think I was the problem. Like, so I would be like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. And then I started realizing, like, oh, it's a relationship. It's another person. You know what did the switch for me was I was in a relationship with a therapist. I had a girlfriend who was a therapist. So I was like, oh, they're people.
Yeah.
They're people.
Yeah.
You know, they have their problems. And I was like, and they're all in therapy and so I was like, okay, it made me actually respect it more. And then I started seeing it there. I thought, fuck, I did something wrong. And then she was like, you got to get in therapy. And then I saw a therapist a little bit, stopped. Every time I'm in a relationship, they're like,
can you say what you did wrong? Can you remember? Or it's not?
Yeah.
Can we say it?
Sure.
Please.
So
This is what we're all on the edge of our seat for.
So
You can't just brush past. I did this really terrible, exciting thing. But anyway, so I'm talking to Barbara. Tell us who'd you kill? What'd you do?
So what I did was, I'm sure it was lots of little things in terms of like emotional regulation, but the big pop was
Barbara's got her work cut out.
She's this is Barbara's new. This one I switched to Kim. She was all right. But what I did where the girlfriend was like, you got to go to therapy. And
Do you only ever do women? Have you ever done man?
Yeah, I had a guy psychiatrist, Fred, in high school. I love that guy.
You liked Fred?
I love Fred, but not to ADD it too much. Fred ended up, he was a pill pusher. I would sit in his office,
motherfucking Fred,
look in this book that had described pills, and I go, Fred, I think I got this.
Yeah.
And he would give me the pills for it.
Oh.
And man, in high school, I'm giving it out. Like I was, because I'm like, I got AD, but I need extra pill. I think I even told, I mean, it was a mess.
Yeah, you were hustling.
I was hustling. And he came and visited me in college. We became like buddies, which is weird.
Yeah.
And people would always be like, your relationship with that guy's weird. And I was like, no. He's,
does it?
You don't know him. It was weird. Like I think he was really short. So I don't know, made me trust him more. I liked him. I just liked the guy. He would tell me his problems.
Trusting,
it wasn't weird like he was never like, but it was like we became like friends.
Like Danny DeVito, I think I could talk to.
He was like thin, but like Danny DeVito.
A little thin Danny DeVito. Now he's getting
Then he's not Danny.
He's getting weak.
Not the same Danny DeVito package.
I don't know much about therapists. I've only had the two, whatever. One of them was a bit bitchy, talked too much.
Oh, she did?
She would chime in sometimes about like
They do that.
Yeah, she just chime in about her life and about Trump and stuff. And I was sometimes she's just telling me a story about her husband. She's like, I was talking about my life, and then she's like, yeah, my husband does that. And then she'd tell me, and I'd be like 10 minutes later, I'd be like, what?
Right.
But then the other girl who I had was the opposite of her. She was just a cheerleader. So it didn't matter what happened. No matter what I said, she was like, just go do some fucking coke, dude. It's like you're stressed. And I was like, you're right. I'm not a fucking tell my girlfriend that she's being unreasonable about how much money I'm spending on coke. And she's like, go get it, bitch, tiger. She was just a supportive enabler. Yeah.
If someone weaves a story in on their own life, because Fred used to do that, but then I would be like me giving him advice. And in retrospect, it's like, you want to get advice from me?
Yeah.
Like I think I was in it's like you look back on the people that sold you alcohol when you're in high school, and you're like, at the time you think they're cool, but then you look back like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
That's how I look at Fred.
But you've never gone guy again.
So I haven't, but it's just been like, that's just been random.
That's just random. You don't have a thing? Because I know I was talking to someone, they were like, I'll only ever do a guy. Women are stupid. That was his philosophy. But I was like, no. I'm not talking to a guy.
Right.
gay.
It's
Like, it's
That's
crazy
what
to
gay
like
is.
me talk to a guy about my feelings. That's nuts.
Right.
I'm just gonna look at him and he's like, how are you feeling? I'm fine.
right.
How are you?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you're like, what are you getting at?
yeah. What do you think? I'm gay? And it's like, Jesus.
Oh, look! I'm the, yeah, I go, oh!
He's like, you might have some.
He's like, how's your family? Keep my wife's name out of your mouth.
Yeah.
All right. No, but I think there is something like naturally for me personally, mothering, I'll talk
Yeah.
to, I can open up. I'd like happily.
Right. You got to have, I mean, I'm sure you got to have, it's a kind of an attraction thing, not sexually necessarily, but like, who do you want to spend time with? Who do you feel the most comfortable around? That's giving you a leg up in it.
Yeah.
So this woman, so what I did where the therapy the last time.
Please.
So it was so many things intermixed, but we were in a relationship and I was traveling a lot. Like I was gone a lot. So say we've been together like 6 months, I was gone for like 3 of them.
Okay.
And that gives you a false sense of what the relationship's like, because I'm great over the phone. I'm great long distance. Oh, if I were there, we'd be doing this. If I were there, we'd be doing that.
Yeah. Oh, the best texter in the game. Perfect.
In person, I'm not doing that stuff.
Of course. Something like that with sex.
Right?
Oh, wait, you see a baby? I'm
my
gonna
God.
throw you around the room tonight.
I don't know if she does it. Carly Eckler, used to have a joke. I don't know if she ever even ended up doing it, but it was so funny where she would talk about when like sexting and then what actually happens. And yeah I've seen yes. But I would then in person, it was a little rocky, but I was still traveling a good amount. And she was like, her roommate was moving out and she was like, do you want to move in? And I said yes, even though every part of me was like, no.
Yeah.
So I said, yes, let's do it. I was just people pleasing because I realized in the past I used to use relationships as like a way to, I used to use it as a placeholder for like having any sense of a life. Because I'd be like, I'm doing comedy, but look, I got my girlfriend. And then people would think that I was like more together than I was. Even though now it's like no one's fucking thinking about what you're up to. Everyone's just thinking of themselves. But at the time. So I say, I'll move in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only do I not move in, I sign a lease on another apartment.
Behind our back? You know,
Yeah.
just that because
Yeah.
you just can't bring up the.
I'm walking down the street. My
This
lease
is so
was
funny. I like.
fucked up. My lease is
I know
up.
a lot of people who do this type of shit though, where they like saying yes to someone's face and then over their shoulder, like to me, like they're going, "Yeah, I'm about to get rid of this girl," and then you're like, "Yeah, we're moving in."
And it's so because also it's like because in my mind I just didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah, of course.
But
yeah.
it's like you're screwing so many people over in this situation.
It's horrible. There's nothing worse than when you find out someone is about to break up. They're like, "Yeah, I think we're gonna break up," and then you're like, "When are you doing that?" It's like, a
Right.
couple of months.
Right, after the wedding.
Yeah,
And you're like,
yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
why put someone through? Make it just rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
I didn't want to face it. I just didn't want to deal with any of it. I was being selfish. It was like such a convergence of things. So I'm walking down the street. I see an ad, like, vacancy. I go in, fill it out, sign the
impulse
stuff.
bought it.
Do it. It was, and I remember being like, this is a little expensive. I hope I can hope things. But at that point, it's like, I've got 2 apartments now in New York. I can't afford one of them.
Yeah.
But I had told her, and I remember I remember being at dinner and she's like talking about the apartment. I'm like, and I'm like, get text from the landlord, like, when are you moving your stuff in on the other place? And then I think it was like a week later, I told her, I was like, I'm not ready to move in. And she was like, really? And then she was like, well, we're going to go, she saw a therapist. We're going to go see a couples therapist. And I was like, she's like, what are you going to do? Your lease is up. Like all your stuff is packed. Also in the middle of the night, I had moved some stuff over to her place. I packed it up, brought it home. Ooh. And she goes, I noticed you had moved all your stuff out. And I was like, well, I did get another apartment. But I still wasn't ready to break up. So she was like, you got to go to therapy. And so I started going to a therapist then.
Yeah.
And I said, and then we broke up pretty soon after that.
Yeah.
The worst of me has come out in relationships. Because I think it most closely mirrors your relationship with yourself. So when I look at it, like, I've had such bad relationships. My relationship with myself was getting better, so much better. But when I look back, I'm like, I was so awful to myself. Of course I was awful to these other people. And I feel, at least with it to myself, I can handle that. I'd much rather be bad to myself than other people, though. Yeah. And in relationships, that's where I've been bad. But
that's interesting.
You know what I mean? And I used to be like, I'd be like, well, why would she, this is fucked up. I'd be like, why would she think that I would want to move way out the Bushwick, 20-minute walk from the train? Even though she thought that, because I was going, yeah, I do, let's do it. It's a great deal.
Yeah.
I love the apartment. I'm saying yes. But in my head, I'm like, how the fuck is she thinking that I'm actually saying yes to this? Of course I'm not saying yes.
But she's dumb as fuck. Yeah.
Stupid.
That's interesting. Although I do hate myself, I don't think I feel like
You're still good in your relationship?
I don't think I'm particularly...
You must be. You guys have been together a long time.
Yeah. But I just don't think I although I hate myself, I don't think I necessarily take that out. I don't care about other people that much, you know. I'm like, oh, do your thing, be happy, do your thing.
I do it in romantic relationships, but it would be more like I would present myself as more together than I was, and then like after 6-7 months, they'd be like, "Whoa," because I'd be like, "Oh, I can't handle stress. I forgot about this."
That's
like,
everyone like that, yeah. Not me, baby. Fucking day one is exactly what you expect, dude.
That's what I've been like.
Sure,
now.
there's a lot more eating pussy at the beginning, but whatever. That's natural.
Now I've been
Grow up.
How long have you guys been together, you and your girl?
6 years.
Woo! Wow.
Yeah.
I've never met her.
No? Yeah, I keep her fucking in the basement.
But she's real?
She is, yeah.
Have other people met her?
I don't know.
Have you met her?
Have you ever met her?
All right.
You met her. She was there, didn't I? Midnight Circus.
Nice.
Best around the circuit. Yeah, so that's...
But now now my therapist, Barbara, actually, she said this. We were talking about self-hate a while ago. This is like a couple months ago. I was like, because I said I hate myself in the session. And she goes, you know what? You need to win yourself over. And I was like, ugh. And she was like, you talk about trying to win these situations over, win other people over. Why don't you try to, now you need to court yourself. And I remember I was like, huh.
What do you mean?
That's what I said. And she was like, she said, be nice to yourself. And I was like, but I was like, but I do. And then she was like, it takes like little, I kind of tuned out after she said that, actually.
Yeah, forget about that. Forget it now.
But
No. That's crazy. This is all like a hyper bullshit, you know, save 30% of your wages type of, sure, we should do that, but no one's doing that. When I'm loving myself here, folks, we're busy. Do you want to be...
I'm too busy. Sounds like a true New Yorker.
It's crazy to love yourself. That's just fucking kind of nuts.
What
like,
about
no
like?
offense. What?
What about like?
No.
I've been.
No. That's crazy. You should always be kind of wanting to be whatever. Find one thing. You got to find one thing that like will justify your entire existence. So like, let's say you have a daughter and you're very good to your daughter, then you can justify all the other shit. But like, most of the stuff you don't need to. You can.
I understand that.
Forgive yourself for not being good, but you should also be like, I should be better all the time.
Oh yeah, always that.
All the time.
That I don't know how that will go away but I've definitely been trying to be like, even if it's in terms of just like not crashing and burning, being like, okay, like fucking drink that goddamn water, try to get some more sleep, do whatever it is. Like, so I just try to be a little bit, or like a big problem I have, I always be like ruminating about stuff. And then it was like, okay, well, if I just do the thing, then I don't have to ruminate about it all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cause that was like it was like very self-indulgent the way I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. And it's like, you're not, when you do that, you can't be productive or there for other people, or something trying to move out of that.
Yeah.
Barbara's my therapist Barbara thought it was funny. I thought I had a crush on her. Barbara.
Barbies. How old is she? Call her
72.
72?
But she's so funny.
Okay.
But like I've been around other people that are so funny and not gotten crushes on them.
Of course, yeah.
You know, so it's not just that.
I guess a lot of people talk about that though. They whatever it is because this person's here to accept you for who you are and help you blab about your whatever. So that experience immediately, I was like, oh, this is great. Feels good.
She said it's, she's like, it's normal. She kind of brushed it off. She's like, it's normal. And I was like, I've had therapists before. Even one of them.
You said, hey, I have a crush on you?
I did tell her.
Insane.
I didn't say it like that though.
Yeah, what did you say?
So I waited till
I wrote you a poem. I got you a mixtape.
Please prescribe me all the meds. A mixtape. Oh my God.
Barbara.
Did you do that? Did you do little Colum mixtapes?
No, never.
No,
it was never. I think it was kind of past my era. Maybe. Never did mixtapes. Never. Used to try to record stuff on a tape off the thing, but I never like made a tape.
Oh yeah, the song comes on the radio and you're like trying to fumble with the tape. You don't want to record over something.
We used to have to like, you'd have to press the two buttons at the exact same time.
Yeah.
But you'd hear us like, or sometimes they would cut towards the end of the song. They wouldn't play the whole song. Like the a commercial would end or something. I remember so mad.
Yep, and then you like record that. So then you've got like the DJ intro and the commercial. Like when you replay it, like that's getting played too. Yeah.
Good old times. Remember that.
I remember that. But I told her it was towards the end of a session, and what had happened was it was like a week before we had rescheduled a session. We were doing one at night, and she was eating sushi. She was like, "Do you mind if I eat?" I said, "No, go ahead." She was eating sushi using chopsticks. I don't know. I thought that was...
Felt like a date, does it?
That's kind of what it was.
And
we were laughing so much. She's funny.
Yeah.
But like not like she's not trying to be funny. She's really dark.
Yeah.
Dark.
Yeah, of course.
Like fucked. Like some of the stuff she says, I'm like, it's just like quick comments. And she'll like, she never weaves her personal life into stuff, but at the end she tries to like bring it around for like a lesson, but not a corny lesson.
Oh, little fucking...
Little something. Little takeaway.
Jerry Springer at the end.
Yes.
Let me do the she turns to a different camera.
Yeah, right.
So, what did we learn today?
That's what it feels like. She's got these big glasses. She's always adjusting them. And she I don't know what we were really laughing a lot that session. I was like, I'm not attracted to Barbara.
Yeah.
And I told my girlfriend about it. I was like, I think I'm attracted to Barbara. And she was like, it's normal to be attracted to your therapist. And I was like, nah, I've never been. And I had a therapist years ago who was actually pretty hot.
Yeah.
Conventionally.
Okay.
And so I stopped seeing her. So I was like, I don't see,
I'll tell you what, I did the opposite though. I did get paired up with a girl who was horrendously looking. And I did the opposite. I was like, that girl's too
ugly. Like, it was distracting.
I don't know. I never even had a chance. I'm not talking to this. I'm just, look, I barely want to do this as it is.
Right.
I'm not going to be encouraged to go look at like an ugly person.
You have to be, Barbara being so funny, but makes me want to go. Cause I'm like, and it's not like she's on. Like, she's just like kind of, and then we'll say, like, I'm like, what's she going to say? Like,
you're having a good old time.
I'm having a good time.
You should start a podcast.
It feels.
You know what? I thought about it.
She wouldn't do it.
Of course not.
She wouldn't do it.
It's not
She's got
healthy
boundaries.
at all to monetize this into like a public situation.
Yeah,
you want
take
to
an ad.
Have your therapy and figure it out.
In the middle of it.
Yeah, I don't know what the answers are too, man.
I waited till the last 5 minutes of the session, and I was like, I gotta say something crazy, and she was like, yeah. And it was not in person. I wouldn't have done it in person.
Of course,
no way. But I was like, I didn't say I think I have a crush on you. I said, the other night it was crazy. Like, I thought I was attracted to you, and she was like, okay, like, all right. And then she said, she's like, do you want to unpack it? Do you think it's like a control thing? And I was like, no, because she's like, sometimes if you're attracted to someone, trying to control the narrative. Does that make sense to you? I kind of followed it, but then I was like, no, I was like, you're just like you're being really funny. And she was like, and I said, maybe the chopsticks, and she was like, what? And then
it's just the way you're so mature, and the way you handled the
it was
the
just,
chopsticks really got you going.
But I've seen some thousands probably of people eat with chopsticks.
I don't know.
It was a combination, but also I was under the false impression that she was queer because I'm not attracted to straight women. So I thought she was bisexual. I knew she'd been married to a man, and when she said that, so like. In the first section, one of the first sessions, I thought she said I thought she said as a queer person myself. And I remember being like, oh, really? Huh, good for you. And she was like, thanks. And so I was like, I think because I know you're queer. And then she was like, I'm not queer.
Oh.
And I turned bright red. And I was like, I thought you were. And then she was like, no. And she was like, I wondered why when I told you, like, as someone who's like supports the gay community or something, you said good for you like that. She was like, I remember that. And I was like, I thought you said you were queer. And she was, I was bright red. I was like, I want to die. I wanted to fucking close the computer.
Yeah, you're a lesbo.
I was so embarrassed. And then I was like, I thought you were queer. And then guess what she said?
Well.
So I go, I thought you were queer. And then I was like, okay, well, I do not have a crush. I was confused anyway. You know what? I'm definitely not attracted to you because I thought you were queer. And she goes, she just looks right into the camera and goes, so you're breaking up with me?
Nice.
Barbara! And I was like, oh, she goes, so it's over? And I was like, nah. And then I was like, I'm sorry I even said it. And I was like, I'm sorry. And she was like, it's very common, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But I don't know. She's just, I don't know what the fuck. I'm sure it is a common thing. And I know a lot of people think of their therapist as their mom or something, but I do not associate my mom with my mom. I do not associate with therapy.
No. My
mom's not like a
nurturing type of person, that type of thing.
Not really. Like her.
Of course.
She is in therapy now. I'm like, oh, I think as a coping mechanism for my mom, I always would like kind of romanticize her in terms of being like, she's so funny and crazy. But now I'm kind of like, she's great. I appreciate her. I love my mom very much. But, nurturing, I wouldn't label it as that. What's your mom like?
She's all right. Yeah, we don't really. I can't imagine sitting down talking to her about much.
What do you guys do? Like when do you catch up on the phone or?
No, I'm not a good child. I'm not a good son. It's not easy talking to your parents because they're so fucking old and boring and stupid that it's just like, Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? No, because look, here's the problem. It's like you hear this stuff now. It's like, especially because I don't live at home.
Right.
So I go home maybe twice a year. So I see my parents maybe twice a year. So
and they're together.
They're in their 70s. They're about 70 now.
Yeah.
So I'm going home in 2 days actually because
nice.
It's my dad's birthday party. It's
awesome.
going to be a lot of fun. A little birthday party with my daddy. He's turned 70. Yeah, so, realistically,
Is it going to be a big party?
not big. All his friends are dead. But my brother's from Australia, so lives in Australia, so he's going to come home with his kids.
Nice.
So it's like all the kids. So realistically, again, the 3 siblings and the parents, there's only going to be about 4 of these times more for the rest of our life.
Yeah.
Not
And that's a
realistically,
lot.
like, because me and my brother are never home at the same time.
Right.
So, this is one of the last few opportunities. So then you think about that type
You
of
should
stuff.
say that at the birthday party.
I will say it
Make
to them.
an
I go, just so
announcement.
you know, guys, this is
about
at
it.
most there's 5 more times we're all together.
If anyone's got something to say,
Just so
say
you
it
guys,
now.
statistically, the next time we're all together, one of you guys will be in a box. And yeah,
They're
it
like,
happens.
Happy birthday!
And I hope it's fucking me.
No one cheers to that. They're just like nursing their
Yeah,
drink.
but then you go, okay, well, I gotta be better, like that. So you go, let me just ring my dad, and then you after about 5 minutes, you go, I gotta go. This is crazy.
How long are you gonna go for?
This trip? It's a week.
Okay.
I go twice a year. I'd like to go 3 times a year if I could go home, but twice is like financially as much as I can push it. But
You live far. That's far. So you're making a big. Actually, you know what? That's more than I go back to me because my parents are separated. I wonder if I talk to my parents more because they're separated. So I've always growing up, it was always like as individuals. I feel like when parents are a unit, it makes it harder to talk to.
maybe, I don't know. They're just old and fucking.
Yeah.
They have nothing to say.
Really?
I don't know what are we going to talk about.
What do I talk
One of my
about?
neighbors is a pedophile and they won't tell me what happened.
One of my fucking neighbors was a pedophile too.
And did they talk about it? Did you find
I
out?
brought it up to them.
And what did they say? They go, you mind your own business. That's what my parents said. They go, Jesus, stop asking questions.
So this was, I was like,
They didn't even ask. I used to stay.
Really?
I used to spend time in this guy's house when we were kids.
how do you get in trouble?
How did he get caught?
Yeah.
I have no idea. All I know is there's something going on. He was in jail, but I Googled it. And then there was like this weird thing because it was like a neighbor of the house where this guy touched one of the girls at the house in the neighborhood. And then apparently they sent letters to everyone going, how dare you neighbors being silent on this thing or something like that. And they were like, well, we didn't fucking know anything. But also then this guy's daughter, she was kind of this weird gothic kid because the wife died when they were young. So then he had this kid, but she became like a goth. Like she was like always a weird goth kid.
Isn't it crazy that that's like an international thing, the goth?
And she became a heroine. So now we're like, oh, he probably was diddling the kid too. That makes sense. You're a little goth baby heroin addict. Yeah. Chances are, daddy got lonely.
And he went to jail.
I believe so, but we don't know. Because no one tells you the information, because in Ireland, you're just never allowed to talk about it.
Woo.
You're like, shh, just relax. Don't mention it.
So this guy that I live next door to,
Yes.
I remember okay. Are we allowed to say their names? He's in jail for it. His name's Garrett. So I don't even know his last. Oh, yes, I do. Garrett, whatever. So I run into him like 10, 15 years ago in Maine, and I was at a gas station. I'm from bumfuck Maine, so it's like real podunk gas station. He pulls up. Now, if I say Patty Wagon, you guys know what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. They've got Patty in New York. They've got a different system, and where I'm from in Maine, there's like someone that goes and like collects like poop somehow.
Oh, I don't know if
It's like the
same
sewage
thing at
truck.
all, actually, no. A paddy wagon is like a police van.
Okay, I think my dad calls it the Patty Wagon as a joke, and
it's
I
full of
am
shit.
stupid.
Yeah,
but yeah,
maybe that's
it's
what it is. A
so
paddy wagon is like a van for cops.
Okay, so my dad called a Patty Wagon. I'm slow and didn't put it together till right now at 37 on this podcast right now.
Okay, no problem. Don't worry
The
about
Patty
it.
Wagon is him driving like the sewage. He drives like the sewage tanks around.
Okay, yeah.
So I run into him and I'm like, Garrett. And he's like, hey. He goes, hey. And I haven't seen this guy at maybe 20 something years. The math isn't really mathing on that.
That's all right.
But whatever. So I haven't seen him on forever. And he goes, hey, your sister. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, boy, she's grown. And I was like, yep. And he goes, yep. He goes, I liked her all the time though. And I was like, okay. And I was like, so you been good? And he was like, yeah. And he goes, see you around or something fucking weird. And I remember leaving it going, what was that?
So till afterwards then, that you find out.
And I was
you
like, huh.
Yeah.
So then, like years later, I was talking about where I'm, my hometown or something, and I remember that interaction. I go, I think that something's up with that guy. So I Google him. Pops up, boom, man arrested in like sting operation for like trying to hook up with like a 13-year-old or something.
Wow,
like
you
that.
just found out because you just Googled his name.
Yeah.
'Cause you go, whatever happened to that guy? It was a bit creepy. That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
That is nuts.
That's nuts. And so I called my dad and I was like, did you know this? And he was like, oh, that's so sad. He was like, because I asked his dad, the guy who got arrested, his dad, he's like, I asked him, he came over and was like helping me move a tree because Maine. He goes, how are the kids? And he goes, well, he's like, we're not really talking to Garrett anymore. And he was like, that must be why. And I was like, chances are. Yeah. But my dad and I'll talk on the phone. He's one of those guys that's like, if you get him going, he'll talk, but there's a few, I mean.
The pedophile thing is funny though, because I started following these guys on Twitter that
they bust pedophiles.
They're pedophile busters.
Yeah, I follow them on TikTok,
and they're busy.
They're fucking
the
busy.
boys are busy, dude.
Oh, booked up.
I didn't even know.
Who is their agent?
There was a guy right now. They're fucking all day, every day catching these videos, right? And so one of them just went viral for screaming at Hillary Clinton about asking why Bill was on Epstein's Island so often. There was like, it kind of went viral.
In person, he did?
Yeah, I don't know the guy's name. It begins with Rosen maybe, R-O-Z.
How often was he on Epstein's Island?
Clinton?
Yeah.
Oh, a lot. 20-something. He was out there just playing saxophone to some teenagers that, hey, can't be illegal if you can't find the victims. Right?
Right.
Let it be alone. It's only a crime if there's evidence. So just kill the kids.
I disagree.
So no, it's not disagree. I'm telling legally you can't. You can't be prosecuted unless they can't find a body. So
right,
don't worry about it, folks. Just
really,
I don't know.
Oh,
but that's what happened to all the Epstein's kids. They all went missing.
Right.
All these kids.
So he yells at her in person.
Yeah, but anyway, so I watched this guy and he sets it up so they'll put up these little sting operations all the time. You going on? Where you going? Camera keeps blacking out. What the fuck?
It's probably my hair.
It's just on the screen. That's all right. Yeah, so maybe that's.
So he yells at her in person. What does she say? I'm surprised they even got footage of that out. You know, I was in a relationship with someone who, after we were together for like 6 or 7 months, was kind of like QAnon-y. And people were always, actually, we'd been together like 8 months, and people were like, how did you not pick up that she was leaning that way? And she was from the South, and I was like, I didn't pick up on it because I'm stupid. And like when you...
Wait, you didn't realize that the person you were dating was a QAnon person?
QAnon-y.
QAnon-y, yeah.
Like, because her brother was really into it. But this is how it was confused. Like, if someone talks about like the Illuminati and that they think that, you know, the government's corrupt and people are controlling people, I'm like, yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, when COVID happened and we were all like living together, I noticed some other types of things he was saying. Like, and every now and then he'd pipe up and go, you know, they never tell you the good stuff Trump does. But that's just his lead. I was like, I just, whatever.
Sure.
But that to me doesn't mean any. But then over the pandemic, then it gets a little racial. And that I'm like, hey, like, no.
Yeah.
You know, they go, I remember they were saying some stuff where I was like shook. And I was like, I got to get out of this. But that's, because the thing is with those, I don't know, have you spent time with anyone in QAnon?
Just me.
So some of the stuff in the beginning.
I don't know pure full-on QAnon people. I know people that...
there's a lot of...
I know, it's
but boy, do they fucking hate Hillary Clinton. It's like something Hillary Clinton. I'm like, why are you guys so obsessed with Hillary Clinton? And he did a you got me to me. Because I was like, okay, so I was like, look, I don't know a ton. I don't know. I should be more informed. I was like, but if she really is like this pedophile mastermind, I was like, why would she have like such a public office? Like, why wouldn't she just like go on some island somewhere? And he goes, she did. And then he's like, Epstein's Island. And I was like,
you figured it out. Yeah.
Because I was like, why wouldn't she just go to
Well, she wasn't there. Was she?
I don't know.
She was out there fucking massaging kids too?
No, but I think that people, when they're having a hard time making a case for the cause, say like the worst thing they can think of ever, because that gets people to mobilize.
I do think that the Clintons are killing people for sure. Like, I don't even think that's like, I don't think that's a speculation.
Why would they be so public though? Like, wouldn't they like hide out?
Because they're killing people, but it's always, they have a tendency. A lot of the people that work with the Clintons have a tendency to die in suspicious fashion. A lot of suicides, a lot of like random assassinations. A lot of people kill themselves by shooting themselves in the back of the head somehow.
Right.
There's a lot of weird shit going on.
Right, that old move.
Yeah. So there's all, like it goes on, and then like the Clintons are just they know they're all criminals. They all decided back in the day we're criminals. The best way to be a criminal is to be a legal criminal. Let's get legit. Let's be government. Let's fucking...
Sure.
And that's just the way it is, you know?
Make the rules, then we benefit from the rules that we make.
But the pedophile thing is crazy because I'm watching these guys because every day there's a new episode of them catching these kids. But then the kids are like...
Catching the people. Or do they catch the kids too?
No, there's no kids, but they're catching the people because they find someone online. I don't even know what forums they're on, but they're hanging out with like a 15-year-old kid, and they coerce them into like, or they don't coerce them, but they set up, go, hey, what would you like to do? And like, oh, maybe we just like hang out and massage each other or whatever. And then next thing you know, some kid shows up with some fucking ice cream, and they're like, what are you doing here? And they're like, But it's like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
What are you thinking?
This is the problem. Is like, so every single day these pedos are getting caught, right? But that's only the dumb pedos. Like most pedos can't be just fucking so stupid that they get caught.
I never thought of that.
It's only a dumb pedophile that gets caught. Imagine just finding a kid online. What do you think the odds are of you just showing up and fucking a 14-year-old kid and then leaving, and then that's sort of just over? Then?
You know what's so scary?
That's crazy.
It must be... Working's not the right word, but it's got to be happening sometimes.
It's got to be,
because it's not like their first time.
It's got to be working, yeah.
That's so fucking scary.
It's got to be working.
How do you live with? Because I'll like think of stuff I've done where I'm like that thing with the relationship where I moved. And also, by the way, like when I said I'd move in and I didn't, I helped her pay the rent until she found another roommate. Like it was a whole thing. But I'll feel bad about that, right? Imagine if you do something so wrong where you hurt someone that is like defenseless. Like, how do you live with yourself?
Being a pedo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they probably either got to a certain point where they decided to justify it in such a way that they probably don't think it's that bad of a thing. They'll figure out a way to be like, oh, I'm not hurting people, I'm whatever, something like that.
There's got to be
It's a weird sickness. It's always sad too, because a lot of people that are fucking abused become the abusers, and it's kind of a sick kind of...
Was it Louis C.K. who had a joke about like that there should be like some like sex doll for pedophiles or something?
Yeah.
I think anything that helps stop harming actual kids.
The problem with that is that it doesn't help. That's the issue. I don't know, but I used to be pro...
You think it encourages
I used to be pro child doll rape.
Right. Because it's like... They explore it more and more, so then they're in that zone.
That's what happens. Is it's like porn. It's like a fucking stepping stone thing.
Is there like
that's what I read, and then I changed my mind on it. But originally, I was like, yeah, go fucking fake thing. Who gives a fuck?
Whatever.
But apparently,
helps.
it feeds you and it gets you worse, and it doesn't help you. It's the opposite of what you need. What you need is like fucking Lexapro to fucking numb out your fucking genitals.
If that's not an ad for Lexapro, I don't know what is. Good job. Good job with that product placement right there.
Use promo code Collie if you have sexual urges for children. Get yourself some Lexapro, folks. Well, there should be some sort of like the opposite of Blue Chew pill that's stopping you from touching kids, you know?
I think people are so afraid to talk about that stuff. So it's like, it seems like if you're even trying to find a solution for it seems like, but it's like, no, what can we do to
There's no solution. I don't know what the solution is, but
or like a 1-800 number, or if it's like someone's like, I'm having these urges, so someone can like talk.
There is therapy and stuff you go to and all that stuff, like, but it's hardcore shit and it's not easy. And there are people that go into it, and you can never admit it. That's the problem.
Right.
It's not like you can just be like, hey, just so you know, I'm a pedo, but I'm in therapy.
You think they have to?
People are going, that's not okay.
Right.
That's not good enough.
Right.
We got to kill you with a rock.
What? But the therapist wouldn't have to report it. Now I feel like me just saying that.
I don't think so.
Like I'm worried about
they'll
that.
They'll only.
But Barbara doesn't have to say anything, does she? No. But like that's like under like a.
Yeah.
Like they could trust their therapist.
As long as you say you're not raping a kid, I think you're fine.
Right.
You know, but you can just go, hey, look, the truth is that love young clunge and big fan of young clunge, and what should I do about it, Barbara?
I've never heard clunge before.
Young clunge?
I've never heard even that phrase.
Youngclunge.com.
Never.
Do not Google it. Just cut my tour dates.
Yeah.
Imagine you created the worst website too.
Oh my God.
Youngclunge.com for all my dates, folks. It's like the opposite of when you like get a celebrity's name and make it gay porn.
Right.
You do the opposite.
You remember when did you ever go to whitehouse.com?
No.
First porn site I ever went to. Whitehouse.com was a porn site.
Nice.
Whitehouse.org was the White House website. Must have been the fucking Clintons. They must have been in office when I was there. It takes you right to a fucking...
That was a big thing that they used to do. I can't remember what they call it. Was it called phishing or something, where they would just buy up all these websites and then try sell them? So like they would find stuff like Coca-Cola.com and then buy it, and then they just make it gay porn, and then people would have to come in and go, all right, here's $2,000 whatever.
Always with the gay porn.
A lot of people do. But now the websites are so irrelevant now, you don't have the same value. But
they're irrelevant now?
Websites kind of aren't that important anymore.
Shit.
Because people just don't really use them, or you can just like figure out different ways to write. Right. But what happens is there was a time when people were like finding young kids like who were just about to get drafted by the NFL and stuff, that they would buy all their websites and try to kind of keep their stuff out of it.
Man, the hustle doesn't stop.
Yeah, but that was a big thing on the internet for a while, where they would just buy whitehouse.com
Right.
and then make it gay sex and be like, well, if you want it, you got to fucking take it off me.
This was the one, and I remember it was because I remember it must have been like 8th grade. I remember it like loading on my dad's computer. It was dial-up. So
Yeah.
it was like coming in chunks. Remember, those like real big box? Because
Yeah.
you remember when they had the iMac computers with the curved back that was bright colored?
Oh, yeah.
This is before that. Because I remember
Okay.
he got one of those and I was like, whoa, we're
Yeah.
in the future.
The original Mac.
The
was
original
crazy.
Mac.
When there was like a weird color.
Yeah.
It was
and
crazy.
people, just the color alone, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, the color was just, whoa.
Wow.
What's going on?
This is a spaceship. This is
Yeah.
before that. And I remember it just like loading, like, and it was
Yeah.
like a woman's breast and this guy coming on him on the White House lawn. And then it said, are you over 18? And I remember being like, and I clicked that I was.
Oh,
when I
you little
wasn't.
devil.
Little devil. And I was so scared. And then like, I think the phone rang and I was like, ah! And so I, got off of it because I thought, I don't know what, it was like the cops.
Police or something? Yeah.
Did you do that? Do you remember that click when you're under 18 and you're like,
Yeah, of course. I
you go
remember
for it?
rotten.com.
what was it?
Rotten.com.
Sounds familiar.
Oh, rotten.com was just like dirty sex and gory shit. So it was just like the worst stuff you could find on the internet. And it was always like body after man jumps from 70th story building and it's
Damn.
just like his body exploded on the ground of a car or whatever. It was
Damn.
just some Japanese guy who jumped out of a building. But like we're like 12 or younger
Right.
just watching this stuff. But I do remember particularly the slow loading. I remember we
Yes.
clicked on a video, it said something like fish time or something.
Right.
And I was like, it loads and you don't see anything. And then you just see like the top half of of a fish. And then it went like that. And there was a guy just had his dick in a fish's mouth. I mean, it couldn't have been the funniest thing because like, what's waiting for it? And I was like, is that a fish? And then he's like, just him with his dick in a
Yeah.
fish's mouth.
Do you remember the first?
Rotten.com was like iconic though in terms
I
of.
kind of remember that.
Rotten.com was the go-to just snuff and weird shit.
Did you have like a specific friend that you would like look at that stuff with, or were you on your own doing it?
That was like my brother and stuff like that.
Yeah,
if
that's
we-
a common-
whatever.
Me and my brother didn't do that, but I had this one friend Harrison where we'd always be like, "Let's Google weird stuff."
Yeah, yeah.
Someone would like be on the lookout, make sure the parent wasn't coming in, and we'd look, like tits or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah.
I don't even know. Hopefully, we thought of weirder stuff than that, but
Dude, we used to have it was always like the sleepover shit, and then you'd like put on like there used to be like Bravo.com, which I don't think
Bravo,
they,
like the TV channel.
I don't think they were related at the time, but there used to be
Be cool if they were.
They used to be like a sports. They used to be like a car show type of a thing. They used to be like more of a car show style thing, but then late at night it would turn into like a sex, like
Ooh.
after midnight stuff. And sometimes it would get switched off, but it was like they would give you the first 2 minutes for free. So me and all the boys would sit there.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
We'd watch the first 2 minutes and then a thing would pop up, or it would pop up all blurred, and we're like, "Is that a tit?" We'd still
Right,
try to watch
kinda.
it. Yeah.
1-800 numbers where you call, and I didn't know that if you didn't pay the money that it would show. I didn't know it would show up in your phone bill because I thought it would
no.
only show up if I like did the.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I remember my mom called one time and she was like, "There's like 100 numbers, like 1-800, like babysitter needs to get banged, whatever." And I was like, "How did she not know I was gay then too?"
Oh, I know.
This was before it came out. I was like, I didn't know it was a prank." And she was like, "You did the prank like 900 times." I was like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Funny shit.
So weird to think of all the memories floating around in your brain that like then pop up when like I
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
about that and then I just remembered it and I could picture it.
Yeah.
There's all these fucking good thing I don't smoke pot because that's what I think about sober.
Yeah. Sometimes I try to think about something that I've never thought about before. Did you ever do that?
No.
That's a fun one. We go, all right, let me try think of something that
What do I
I've
got
never.
in here?
Let's try to remember something that I've never thought about, and then you just go, all right, let me think of like locations and stuff, and then you go, but was I ever there? Where did I go for dinner? And then you go, oh yeah, there was a girl with no arms. That time."
Yep.
You do find yourself in these weird little memories that you can dig out.
I used to do that. I used to do that almost like a writing exercise where I'd be like, where I was like trying to think of stuff for like material, be like, all right, like what happened when I was in first grade? Like, let me come up with something. I haven't done that in a long time. I've mined the backstory too much. Time for the future.
I do it with people where I go, all right, let me try to think of someone. I try to remember. All right, I remember like a football team that I was a part of. And I see if I can remember every.
You played football?
Like soccer, yeah.
No, oh, yeah.
But then I try to remember every single player on the team, and then I go, oh yeah, there was a guy that was kind of what was his name? And then I go, oh yeah, we did this one time, and then I go, just remember the thing I never remembered before.
And do you write about it?
No.
No.
It's just like it's just to think about stuff.
Are you writing like all new stuff now that you had your special come out?
Yeah, more or less.
Good
yeah,
for
yeah,
you.
yeah. Pretty tough.
Pretty fucking
damn tough. It's not
Isn't it?
easy. Well, it's easy if you're shit.
Right.
The problem is trying to be good. just talking is the easy part.
Right.
It's actually, especially now you're supposed to be getting better, so it's harder. It's not easier. It's not like the longer you do it, the easier. It's actually you're getting less options to do.
Yeah, because also then you're in settings where it's like the other people on it are really good. So then you don't want to come, and then you're working on new stuff. And it's like, and then the audience doesn't necessarily know it's new unless you're like, okay, guys, this is about to be new. Like they just are like, they're like, this is great. That's who?
Yeah, I do think I'm not too bad. I'm not rushing on the new thing, and I've got like a fucking rake of road dates. 2024, ColumTyrrell.com. I'm on the road like every single weekend for the year.
Good for you.
Well, we'll see if it continues, but yeah.
Yes.
So that'd be fun. I think I've got the hour kind of good. Like the 45 is like pretty good. I just need to flip it a couple of times, but I'm not worried. So I'm not going to record till the end of 2025.
That's good. You got the date in mind.
That's how I'm just thinking. Sometime around this time in 2 years.
2 years. Good goal.
That's
That's good.
The end of 2025, I'll record it. And so
I'm going to do that too. I think 2025 I want to have, because I got a bunch of road starting in January, but it's not for the whole year out. It's like January, February, March, April. It's like every weekend, and then
great.
But I want to have like an intention with it. Get something.
That's the thing is, it's also just because a certain point when you got to start thinking about the stuff that you're doing is like, this is the new hour, rather than I've always traditionally kind of just been like, this is what I say right now.
Yes.
Will I say it again? There's never a reason for anything, but now you need to actually consciously be like, this is what's going to be said in the special, or whatever.
Exactly.
Well, see, I'm having fun writing some new stuff, but do wish I was a lot better. Just wish I was a lot better. Even when it goes well, I go, that was shit. Even when it goes very well, I go, fucking
really
hate myself, hate my life.
Even if it goes well?
Yeah, because they're laughing at dog shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then you're like, you guys are stupid.
You guys are fucking dumbass monkeys, dude. Just Pavlovian idiots.
And then someone like
ding-a-ling-a-ling, ding-a-ling-a-ling, laugh at my jokes, you idiots.
Jesus Christ.
Stupid fucking animals. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, dinner time.
If they don't like it, are you like, these guys are smart?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. They know something. They know. I knew. That's what that's what I want.
Yeah. I
don't want anyone laughing at anything.
Those are my
the issue too is then the best stuff, the best jokes are like, for me, the least consistent. For me personally, I go, if it works, this is incredible. But if it doesn't,
I relate to that.
You know,
I relate to that, and then I'll like phase it out. But I'm like, if this works, then when it does work, it's like, boom. Yes. And then that's the one people are like, oh yeah, when you said that,
if it works.
Yeah, and that's probably your people. Where it's like, but it's tough when you're doing it to people. Like then if the people come out to see you, that's probably the one where they're like, ah. But if you're just doing it showcase, which is like anyone comes to the club, then that joke, and what's tough is it's like, are you going to stick to it and still say that one that's maybe more divisive? Or
I know it's so hard to find the balance, because I also feel like I hate the fact that people pay tickets who take a chance.
Oh my God.
A lot of people are just taking chances.
Right.
For me, most of the ticket sales are just people going to a random comedy show. They might research me and go, he has some credits or whatever. He might like the clip, but they're not. They're not like
the clip.
They like the clip, but like they're I like this one clip. Let me take a chance on him, whatever. But they're not like the fans. So like I was in San Diego, and I'd say nearly every show was like 10% people there from me. The other ones were just there for comedy. And then the last show was mic drop comedy. But the last show, there wasn't many people at it. It was the late show. There was like 20 people there, but they were all 20 were there specifically for me.
Nice.
It was the Colum Tyrrell fucking fan base club came out.
Yes.
It's the best show you'll ever have in your fucking life. But then the other one, you do owe some responsibility. I can't just open with fucking whatever dog shit, horrible stuff I'm gonna say. You kind of gotta fluff them up a bit. Yeah. But then you've also got the people who are there, the edgelord fucking incel fans who want me to just do horrible racist stuff, which I love to do. But it's like, it's hard to find a balance for both of them. It's like hard to please every fucker. Just the old couple who don't want to talk to each other, who want to just hear you talk about bullshit.
Right.
Or you want to have this little edgelord who wants me to say that Jews deserve to die. You know, I don't know.
Jesus. Yeah.
It's true. That's what they want.
That's
what they want.
What is an edgelord?
Just someone who's kind of hacky, who says edgy things because they can't come
up
with
yeah. I've heard the phrase a bunch before, and I never.
I'm an edgy lord for sure. Yeah, try to get out of it.
Yeah, I feel you.
But it's the most exciting stuff too. It's always more fun to do that type of stuff.
When I say something where it's like a lot of, like the general, like I remember there was one Sunday night where I did this one show, and the thing that was like the most like divisive, and that they were like, and then I did another, and I was like, oh my God, that really worked great. And then I did it on another show that was really hot. And then I did that thing. And that was like a noticeable, like they were like, no. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Because it was like, it went from that was the high point and that was the low point. And I was like, I wasn't even in. So then I felt like the whole night was a wash.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it kind of canceled it out. Because it was like such a pop, but then such a not a pop.
Well, that's what so this is the whole thing with once you can get, I've got jokes that work or whatever that will work 99 times out of 100 nearly, right? But that doesn't mean they're the best jokes, but they are like the most consistent ones.
Right.
Then you got this joke, but that's great, but it only works maybe 50% of the time. And then sometimes though making the joke work that it hurts every single time makes it worse somehow because it makes it a little bit, boils it down.
It's like with food.
Yeah.
It's like I fucking love the Cheesecake Factory. I like mass produced, like I like the Olive Garden. I like those foods. But it's like you got the best minds in the fucking world concocting up. How can we get the algorithm right so the most amount of people like this stuff?
And
I'm like, love it. But the restaurant that's like really special that maybe less people like, but it's more like artisanal or whatever the fuck it is, that's the one that's gonna like stand at like those general restaurants are like, okay, the general club, people just go to eat there, whatever. But where you seeking it out, that's something where it's like maybe it wouldn't work there's a couple times I've seen people who like at a festival or something, people did not get it. 2 people I can think of in particular. One of them I did at college with. They
didn't get your jokes, you mean?
No, this is another performer.
Oh, sorry.
Where it was like, but yeah, that's of course, but but that's a given. But this other performer, the 2 times where I remember seeing them, and like for the average person, they're like, what the fuck is this? Both cases I'm talking about very old people, and then both of them, especially one of them, became super famous because it's like those people. Then the standard club goer is not going to like them. I'll tell you, certainly people in Indiana didn't care for her, but
of course,
but
they built their audience from
it, or wherever I was in Indiana, wherever I was. But yeah, it was like
but it's hard. I also just don't think sometimes I just think you owe it to people taking a chance to go see your fucking stand up to not have a bad night. You know,
same.
Even though you do want to be able to do the stuff that you want to do, but at the same time, it's like you do owe. So hopefully, I just build a fan base pretty soon, so I don't have to worry about
any day now, buddy. That's what I keep saying. That's what I say to myself too. Well, I'm like not when I go even see my mom for Thanksgiving. Like I've been having that conversation. I'm like, nah, this year, this is the year. And now she's just like, okay,
sure.
Like,
well, you're doing well. You're doing fucking well.
She came to a show in Tampa that I did sell a lot of tickets at, and she was like, "What are these people doing here?"
Yes,
and I was like, "Oh, it's from Facebook," and she was like, "What?" And then when I was doing like a meet and greet afterwards, she was like asking people what they were doing here, and I was like, you gotta put a quirk in it because
you like this.
Yeah, like
you're into this. You paid in. You guys paid in.
I have to be here. I'm her mother. What are you doing? And I like that type of vibe. And I was like, Mom, like just we gotta act cool.
There's a lot of cooks out here, huh? Yeah, but what maybe you could do like what Joe DeRosa is just doing like. No, he doesn't do clubs anymore. He just does like little rock venues and stuff.
That's cool.
He just finds little small rock venues and then goes, I'm selling the tickets directly to the people. I'm getting 100% of the door. There's not going to be any fucking idiots who are just taking a chance on the Fun Village or whatever they call it.
Fun Village.
Come down to
Rocky's Roadhouse Fun. Fuck yeah.
The Boise Fun Village.
Right.
So it's so he's just selling them out to that, which that's my goal.
Totally, that's a goal for sure.
If that was the goal, I would just do rock venues, but you got to be able to sell a lot of tickets. But that would be my only goal in comedy. No clubs, 100% of the door.
Right.
They know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it little theaters, whatever theaters.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's the fucking that's the venue.
I agree.
But I think you got to have some sort of respect to the people that buy the tickets, though.
I'll shuck and jive. Like I'll do the whole like song and dance too.
Yeah, but then also like so I have this pedophile stuff right now that's pretty funny. But then like after the show, I did have someone recently come up and goes, "Great show, man, but." We didn't like the pedophile stuff. It's like, he said something like we're freedom fighters or something like some sort of we're freedom guys. I can't remember exactly what the wording was.
Right.
But and I was like, well, grow up, dude.
Do you think they interpret? You're like, me talking about does not mean I'm pro pedophile.
I don't know if they listened to what I said. It was the opposite.
Right. Like I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Like I'm gonna go out on a limb here and guess that you weren't. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like
of course.
Maybe I think sometimes when people just like hear
there's just things shock them. They hit them up too. But then you're like, what am I supposed to do here?
Right.
Because then I've had someone recently came up to me and was like, oh man, I listen to your podcast all the time and you're a lot softer than I thought you'd be. I thought you were going to go hard or something. And then I'm like, I know, but at the same time, What am I doing? Well,
That's one of those comments where
I'm
like,
just trying to
it's
get
nice.
drunk and quick comedy because it's just like I can't please you all.
Right. That's one
Yeah.
of those comments where you're like, appreciate it.
Yeah,
But woo,
yeah.
I'm gonna be thinking about that.
Yeah, because now what I'm not gonna do go up and just open with fucking
Right.
you know, Sharia law jokes or whatever.
Right.
No, I don't
Pick it
fucking-
up where the last like podcast ended up, and then most people are like, "What are you talking? You just got home from how?" Trying to put it together.
I do have a new joke that I think might work, but it's terrible. But it's about how like it's like how lions shouldn't be like in the zoo. They should be like free. Mm-hmm. Makes sense, right? We all think that the lions shouldn't be locked up, but they should be free. But at the same time, it's kind of dangerous. And I think that's kind of like the way it's like with Palestine. It's like they should be free, but they're also wild animals, you know? So they can't be trusted. We believe they shouldn't be in an open air prison, but at the same time, they're lions and they're gonna cause them trouble.
How do people react when you say it?
Not good.
Have you?
I think it's all right. I'm not joking. It's tongue in cheek.
You could do. You should. That could be your thing. You do that after every. No matter how the joke goes, just go like that.
Yeah, it's not bad.
You go viral on TikTok.
I'm joking, guys. I'm joking. I support. I'm Team Pally.
You could say it with probably. You could swap out Palestine with like a lot of different like other types of people too, if you wanted. If you
If I want to make.
If you wanted to,
I don't
but-
want to lose the artistic integrity.
Right.
Of the
You know.
So it has to be about Palestinians being animals.
How many times have you tried it out?
Just the once.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. I
I'll
don't
give
even know if
something
it's
3 times usually.
That's yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
Sometime, but then I don't fucking know. I got to get a better system.
The systems are overrated. Well, any luck, one of us, we just get hit by a car and it's all done. Don't have to worry about it anymore. That is kind of the nice thing. It's like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Get whacked by a car?
Right?
No more options.
I fantasize about that sometimes.
Kind of refreshing to the idea of like a sweet. Sometimes I'm like with a plane. I'm like, I can deal with a plane crash right now. Quite nice.
I would I just don't want to suffer on the way. The thing that I have the hardest about is the way down.
I don't think I would. I'd just have my headphones in.
Just accept it.
I'd
Yeah.
be fine. Yeah.
I just wouldn't want to get splattered in a million different. I think what I would do while the plane's going down, I try to kill myself some other way, just to like make sure. I don't know how, but
That's nuts.
I wouldn't want to stab myself either because then
Imagine
it's
on
like,
a plane, you're going down, and then there's someone like hanging themselves
yeah,
beside
like,
you.
oh,
like,
let me get a jump on this.
and you're
They're
trying
like,
to save them. You're trying to help them. They're like, no, stop. Go down in burning flames.
like we're just landing right now. I'm like,
Yeah. When I was on the plane recently and I had a lot to do, I had a lot of chores, I had a big to-do list, I had about 12 things, and I go, it would bother me now if we crashed because I have so much to do. I felt like
that would make me want to crash when I got a bunch to do. I'm like, fuck, take me out.
For me, it's like, no, I got 12 things to do. I got to get the things done.
Were they things you wanted to do?
They're just bullshit
Right.
stuff that I needs to get done, but it's like not sweet relief. Then I'm just angry because we're about to crash. I go, now I got that shit done. Shouldn't have even thought about it.
Right.
You know, what a waste of my energy going, fuck, I got to do this stuff. Sometimes I'm about to crash. I go, now it'd be perfect.
Yes.
I got nothing to do. I'm watching a movie. I've seen it already. I'm like,
it's the opposite of me.
I'm like,
then I'm happy.
no.
Then I'm like, oh, fucking
empty
great.
schedule. I'm ready to go.
Oh, see, that if I'm like, oh, I
Take
got
me now.
some free time, please praise Jesus. When things start getting crazy, then I'm like, just do it.
Yeah.
Just end it. But sometimes I do find that comforting too, because I'm like, all right, like, it's like, all right, I might try to feel, don't worry so much about stuff because like you might just pop, hit by a car or whatever.
But that's, yeah,
Helps me fall
there's
asleep
a lot
sometimes.
of stuff that would kill me if I died. Like, emotionally, they would kill me.
It's a lot of stuff that would kill me if I died, man.
Yeah, no,
If
a
I'd-
lot of stuff that would upset me, like saving money for stuff.
You wish you hadn't done it then?
That would fucking bug
Actually,
me.
I know what you mean. I would have.
It would bug me so
Me
much.
too. I could have gotten that fucking massage. I could have.
Lots of stuff
Yeah,
like
I would
that.
have
Yeah,
taken
yeah.
on fucking so much credit card debt. Just
Imagine paying off your credit card debt and then getting whacked by a car.
Better kill
it
me
would
twice.
It would be so annoying, frustrating.
I
Fuck!
would. Yeah,
I spent off that. I saved off my.
that'd be the last thing I'd be thinking about too.
Yeah. So there's just certain things that would bug me dying.
Are you gonna not pay off your credit card just in case? Just so that doesn't.
No, I will, but it's just like it would just if egg on my face, egg on my face. If I was to just not wake up, and then I had to just the day you pay off your credit card debt, you just don't wake up. Then
If anything,
oh my god, heartbreak.
anything happens to you, I'm gonna be at the funeral trying to figure out who to ask. I'll be like, I just gotta go one enclosure.
Oh.
Had he paid off his credit card recently? They go, no. I go, oh, thank God. I just
He
checking.
died doing what he loved.
Yeah, thank God.
Being
He's-
reckless
yeah.
financially.
There was
Yes.
a smile on his face when he went down.
He went out. Yeah, I would be a little. Like this, I wish I cracked open the Amex. That's dying. Yeah, that's not bad. I think that's good.
What are you gonna get your dad for his birthday? What are you gonna get your dad for his birthday?
We're getting him a fancy gym membership. Actually.
Nice.
Yeah, we're all getting him a gym membership.
Does he want that, or are you guys trying to give him a signal?
He wants that, I think.
Okay.
But he's also 70. He needs to be out there getting active. And all the gyms kind of shut down in Ireland or something. So now we're getting him like a real, like the Equinox of Ireland. So he's going to head down, do his thing, do his little old man workout, you know.
That is one
old man workouts, a lot of just sort of flapping, they're not really doing much, you know.
You get them in a pool and they do these little like a jig.
A lot of talking with a towel on their shoulder, you know. They're not really working out, but they're out, they're busy.
They're getting them, they're socializing.
Just get out there.
I hope he wants that, because getting a gym membership if you don't want one, awkward.
Yeah, I do think, I don't know, I didn't even ask, fuck him.
Yeah,
take what you're giving.
Yeah.
I'm not the present guy. I don't like presents. I don't like getting presents. I don't like giving presents. Not my
love
thing.
getting some. I do love getting like little presents.
I love
getting. Yeah, I love getting them. I love getting them, and I tell the person the second they get it. So maybe it's not even like I'll just be like the second I get someone something. Like, I saw this. I got you this. I go, I don't want it, and I go
but I'm lucky because my girl is like real into the gifts. She thinks about it. She plans it out. She knows what's good. She knows what people's like. She'll be out shopping and she goes, "Oh, that's just for her. That's just what Maria needs." You know, she'd love this. I'm never thought about anyone else in my life.
She wraps it up for him.
She does all the type of shit. And which is good for us because eventually I'm going to have a lot of money.
Right.
Praise Allah. And so she's the present person. You got to get the presents. I'm not the present person. You go
Me wrapping a present is a fucking... I wrap it.
You just fucking... What, do you just twist it up and fucking lob it at them? That's what you do? Presents, the wrapping of the gifts is overrated too.
I've never wrapped something correctly in my life.
No need.
I don't cut. I rip. The Scotch tape is just...
I'm personally, I like a little bag is more than enough. A little nice bag, a little gift bag with a little wrapping, that's all you need.
Yep.
No card. Cards can fuck off. Another one. I know women want the card, but you know what?
I'll write a card.
No, I'm settling on no cards, all right?
Have you ever written your girlfriend like a
love letter?
Yeah.
No. Was it a lie to her like that? Was it a lie right to her fucking face? No, I've never written like what? The stars are dull without you type of thing, like whatever.
I don't even know. Like it could be like a this coming year together. I don't fucking know. Like looking back.
No. It's always just the usual, hey, love you, couldn't live without you.
That's nice.
Happy Merry Christmas.
That's nice.
Know? The usual shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Lick it, stick it, repeat it. That's the way it is. I used to date someone and what her mother would do is every Christmas she gave the dad the same Christmas card, but he never realized. So what she'd do is she would give him the Christmas card. At the end of the year, she'd pack everything up. She'd save it.
Funny.
Following year, give him the same card, and he's like, "Great, thank you, appreciate it."
I love that.
Never read it once, never looked at it once.
She's like, "I'm cheating on you" in the card. She's like, "You fucking idiot!" Like the kids aren't yours.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "I told you, you just didn't read that fucking."
Well,
card.
I once got everyone fucking birthday cards for Christmas by mistake. I didn't even fucking notice. Went in. I was like, it just said like father, sister, brother.
Right.
I went. I gave them all the cards.
Right.
No one ever said that. And then my sister was like, this one says happy birthday. I go, oh, does it? I never read the cards.
Yeah, like I was talking about fucking Jesus. That's why I was happy birthday. 'Cause isn't Christmas Jesus? No, that's Easter.
It's his birthday?
Christmas, boom.
Yeah. It's his birthday.
Right. So you're happy birthday, you know. God.
Yeah. All right. That's fun, huh?
Great to see you.
Oh, yeah, always great to see you.
This time next year, who knows where we'll be?
We're going to be...
Maybe on a boat? A yacht?
Ooh.
Wouldn't that be nice?
If we were on a yacht?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do the Bert Kreischer tour next year.
That'd be fun.
Bert Kreischer has a little yacht tour.
I heard it looked really good too.
It did look like a lot of fun.
It looked like, because
We'll do it next year.
A cruise. I'm not a big like cruise. I've done one cruise before. I actually did like it. Have you done one before?
No.
I did it. I liked it because it was like 6 days and the cell phone reception didn't work. So the first 2 days I'm freaking out. I'm like, I can't fucking, my phone. Like, and then I was like, okay. Someone asked, I literally can't talk to you. And Jessica Kirsten was on the same boat. So we would like have breakfast, hang out. I liked being cut off.
Yeah.
But I liked isolate. But it's like you got a great excuse because you're like, you I guess would hate it though.
Wow.
Because then you would have it's like you didn't have anything you have to do. No chore, no nothing.
Yeah. I'd be drunk all day.
Yeah. If you drink an open bar, I wasn't drinking. So it was like open. But if you are, forget about it.
Yeah.
But
no, I think I'd make fun of it. I'd have fun there. I think I'd figure it out.
absolutely,
Just go around on the slides all day eating chicken wings.
America.
I don't know. If it does, maybe you're trapped in this thing where you're just like, let me off this boat.
I don't. It's a big fucking boat.
Yeah.
The only thing is, if I did 2 shows on it, the first show went great. So afterwards, people are like, "Oh my god!" Da, 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 da. Second show, I didn't feel so good about it, and then I had 2 more days in the fucking boat. So I was like, I don't want to run into anybody.
You're bumping into people at the buffet and stuff like that. Yeah, I heard that's probably pretty bad.
But the first show, people just treat you so differently after that because they're like,
Yeah.
and then the next one, they're like, eh.
All right, let's wrap it up. Go
wrap it up.
check out Emma Wilman on the road. Check out the podcast.
Yeah, check out the podcast. It's with Betches Media. It comes out every Tuesday. It's called Ask Men Anything, and Instagram.
All right, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.
Take it easy, guys. Bye.